Hi, this is Jonathan with Fishing with Faith Outdoors. I'm glad y'all tuned back in today. And if y'all would like the videos and subscribe, and that would greatly support the channel. And today I want to talk about 3 baits that I like to go over. They're really easy. So first we're going to be talking about the spinner bait. They're really easy to fish. Lipless crankbait and the buzz bait. So y'all stay tuned and we'll jump right in. All right, so first we're going to talk about the spinner bait. It's this time of year, the weather is changing. The leaves are falling, you know, fall time, winter time coming in. So you know, it's typically kind of windy this time of year, and the weather's dropping. So the cooler nights, the daytime may still get hot in some aspect, you know, high 80s, mid to high 80s. But the nighttime, you know, you get outside, man, I need to put on a coat or pullover on. That's when the bass start feeding on shad and bait fish or whatever's in your pond, brim, that kind of thing. So and they pulling up out of those deep areas that, you know, and get up in these coves and all and ambush, you know, bait fish and brim and so when the grass starts dying off too, they'll leave them grassy areas when there ain't no oxygen because the grass is dying. So they'll pull a hard cover, you know, any kind of lay down stumps or rock or anything you got your ponds or lake, you know, they come off that grass, and any left grass that is somewhat green, they'll stay to that too. So if you find that, you'll able to get bites. So what I like throwing this time of year and is a spinner bait, and this will work all year long. Okay, I've caught big fish on this all year long. All right, so you know, a lot of people is not familiar with a spinner bait like they used to be, and they're not as thrown as much as they used to be. So I'm gonna show you a few. This one, what I throw my spinner bait on, I like 15 to 12 pound fluorocarbon. Okay, on a medium heavy rod, moderate or fast action tip with a I take like a smaller gear ratio so you don't have to spin as if you want to reel it kind of slow, medium slow paced. This is a 7:5 to 1 gear ratio, but you want to use something like Abu Garcia at Walmart. It's got the Abu Garcia Black Max. It's a 6:4 to 1 gear ratio. You want something like that with a medium heavy rod. Okay, so that's what I pair my spinner bait with. All right. Hey, buddy. You want to say hi to the camera?
Hey, camera.
Say hey.
Hey, camera.
All right, go catch us a big fish, huh? Stay out of the water. It's cold. All right, so let me show y'all a few. All right, so you have 3 different styles, really, you know, to keep it simple. So first one, this is like a little finesse style spinner bait. You know what you want. This is what they call I want to say that's the Indiana blade. I believe it is. These little willow leaf blades. I'm sorry, they're willow leaf blades, and that mimics a bait fish. You know, schooling bait fish. That's what this thing mimics. This is a small one by if I ain't mistaken, I think that is Strike King. So you can pick these up at your local tackle shop or go online to Tackle Warehouse. You can pick these up. Okay, and the other one is what they call the Colorado blade. You want to use this in more stained or darker waters. This right here gives off a bigger flash and a louder in the thumps, a different vibration in the water. It's a bigger thump in the water, you know. So they'll hone on that a little bit easier than these, you know, the little willow leaf blades. Okay, so you know, little bait, you know, they come in bait fish colors. There are some bluegill style out there. They're hard to find, really, but they usually come in a white. Then you got this style. Is, you know, this is what I use in darker waters. You know, that gold's what you want to use in darker waters. You know, see. All right, that's got a little gold willow leaf on it there. But I use, you know, the clear blades, these shiny blades. You can use some stained water, but a little bit muddy waters, you want to use these darker waters with a chartreuse. Okay, and I usually pair it up. Here's a gold one. This is actually made by a company and over off Halter Bridge Road in Georgia, Crawford County, Georgia, or Byron. Okay, I can't remember this company. Starts with an E. I ain't got the box with me right this second, but anyway, but this is a gold. I'll use that in darts. And I'll put a trailer on it. Okay, put you some kind of paddle tail trailer. I like the grub. Let's see, I got this one. I like the grub. See the grub right there? That works pretty good. So some kind of swim bait, paddle tail, you know, a grub. And let's see, this is made by Z-Man. William, don't get in the water. It's cold, buddy. You know, Z-Man makes a fish-like trailer or swim bait. You know, so it's Last-Tech material. It stretches. See, and so that's what I'll use for that. And basically, what you want to do, you just want to throw it out there, throw it out in the water, just under the water surface, around laydowns, cover, anything really, grass lines. You know, maybe a couple inches, 6 inches to a foot or so under the water, and just reel it in real slow, like, you know, medium to slow pace, and every so often just kind of stop and give it a little twitch and just reel it in. That's all you gotta do. It's real simple, and I'm telling you, they'll knock the heck out of it if they want it. And I fish that, like I said, when it's windy, a little bit of, you know, light wind to medium heavy winds. I know that sounds funny, medium heavy winds, but you know, like it is blowing out here. I think it's blowing probably about 10 miles an hour out here today. So that's when I throw those in cloudy conditions, okay? So all year long, and especially when they're chasing bait fish. All right? So let's jump to the next one. Any questions about that, leave it in the comment section. I'm sure I forgot something. So I just want to go over the basics, and hopefully you will be able to use that and get you some fish on. The next one, let's talk about the buzz bait. It's basically the same deal, but the only difference is it's got this blade on top that thumps the water. It just makes a little blub, 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 sound going across the water. Okay, and there's different styles of them as too. You know, bass fishing is one of them things. You gotta have 10 different lures to do certain things. That's just how it is. So you got different styles of them as well. So let's talk. If I can get it out, there we go. All right, so you got the black. That's for nighttime or early morning or cloudy covered, or, you know, cloud cover. All right, there's a black one. Then you got this one. This is, you can use this for stained waters. That chartreuse color stands out a little bit, and it's got a, you know, it's got this little blade that thumps. It makes a click, 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 click sound along the water, so it puts out a nice frequency in the water for them to hone in on. And then you got, I think that's a, is that a booyah? I think that's a booyah. Could be a Strike King, can't remember. But anyway, it don't matter. It's whatever you want to buy, really. This is a thumping style. This is by Strike King. You see that blade's down there loaded at the head, and it'll, you know, you hear that, it thumps that head, blip, 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 and they'll hone in it. And two, like I said, they come in different colors. Typically, everybody buys a chrome style blade. It's usually what I get with a white skirt. And me, I take the skirts off. Okay, there ain't too many I fish with a skirt. You see, all the skirts off mine. And all I do really, I put that grub. I showed you that grub a minute ago. Let's see, I think I got a pack of them here. Right here. Oh, here's those. Okay, there's that fish I was showing you earlier. That's a Last-Tech fish. You can get those at your local tackle shop or tackle warehouse. They come in different colors. Okay. Shad, you know, shad and bluegill patterns, which you want to use this time of year. But I get these toads. This is Zoom, the horny toad. I'll put that on there, you know, or the Zoom grub. Okay. And it mimics a fish. You know, that tail in there doing this, it mimics a fish. And the toad, it remembers a frog or fish. It doesn't matter. I got the bluegill color, you know, the black for low light conditions, muddy water. Then the white, you know, if they're chasing bait fish or or bright days like it is today, I'll use a white one. Okay, so all right, so you just thread that on. You just thread that onto your hook and put it down your keeper. Like I said, I take the skirt off. You can do whatever you want to do, but I've gotten a lot of big fish. Matter of fact, this pond here, I lost an 8-pounder on one of these. I guess I ripped a big hole in its mouth setting the hook, and he came up and this thing just flew out of its mouth. And I'm telling you, you get a fish on this, they usually don't come off, and they hammer this thing. Okay, they hammer this thing. All right, what do I use it on? All right, I like to use my buzz bait. And also too, there's different tricks you can do to make this thing. See, I crimp. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you this real quick. They crimp. You can crimp this rivet thing right here that keeps this blade from running into this piece. I crimp it and then I bend. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I bend that in kind of an angle, and where this thing will rub against, and you hear the squeak. It makes a squeaking noise. And also too, you can tie it onto your. You can put it in front of a fan and let it sit there and blow. See if I can get the wind to blow it. And the more it runs, the faster it runs, it'll make a squeaking noise. You hear that? There it goes. And I'm telling you, that right there gets strikes. I don't know what it is, but all the pros do it. Everybody I know that uses buzz baits, they make them squeak. So I guess it produces a more noise, so the bass will know, oh, what's that? I gotta go get that. So you all right, man? You having problems? But anyway, so that's the deal with that. All right, I'll, modify that rivet sleeve. It looks like a rivet, and it's just sleeved on it, and crimp it to where it'll stay put. Then bend that, and in such an angle where this right here will make a squeaky noise. But there's YouTube videos on how to modify your buzz baits. Okay, that's just what I do with these, and it tends to work. All right, so what I like using is a medium heavy rod. I wouldn't go no heavier, 60-pound braid. You can put 20-pound monofilament. Okay, this has got to float. Somewhat, it's got to float. Well, I'll take that back. You can use monofilament or fluorocarbon, but I put braid, so that's why I said monofilament. I use 50-pound braid. You can use 65-pound braid, no less than 30. Okay, you don't want to go no less than that. Okay, the reason why I got braid on here, so I can get through the weeds. This cuts through weeds and it runs over limbs and stuff real well. And rocks, braid don't do too good on rocks. It'll tear it up. So, all right, 50-pound braid or 20-pound monofilament with a medium heavy rod. Okay, medium heavy rod with a what is this? This is a 7.5-to-1 lose. Okay, 7.5-to-1 gear ratio. Because when you throw this thing out there, when you cast this out there, right before it hits the water, you want to engage your reel and start getting that slack. So when it hits the water, it's automatically coming up because this bait sinks, and you want to get it up where just keep your rod tip high a little bit, and you want to work it to where it's making a bloop, 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 bloop sound. Okay, you don't want to do it too fast, and you do it too slow, it's going to sink. So you just want to keep that moderate reel speed to keep buzz bait up, and you fish it around laydowns, stumps, grass lines, same way like a spinnerbait. Basically the same deal. Very weedless. It comes through stuff. If you get it up in grass, it'll mat up and get tangled up. But anyway, that's what I do with that. Okay. So that's what I have mine on. Like I said, it's very simple. Just got it, and when I throw it out there, when I reel it in just a little bit, just make a bloop, 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 bloop sound, I'll just pump the reel handle where it go bloop, and it'll make a different noise. Do it every so often, and it look like something's fleeing for something, and it just makes them want to strike it then, because, oh, that's getting away. You see what I'm saying? So any questions on that, please leave your comments in the comment section, and we'll go over it on things that I may have missed. Okay. Oh, and by the way, the knots on the spinnerbait and the buzzbait, I like a Palomar knot, and I'll leave a link in the description below on the knot. Okay. What's the matter, buddy? Huh? You done? You done? I got one more bait, man, and we'll fish. Okay. The next one is a lipless crankbait. These are real simple. and they get hammered. When you get a bite on a lipless crankbait, you know it. And this is the time of year to start throwing them, especially in this wind. I'll get a couple out real quick. They'll just go nuts over this thing. All right, so let me get a couple of them out real quick. All right, there's different ones. Strike King's got a, ow, I think just about hook went in my finger. That hurt. Daggum. I already had a Pop R hooks go in my finger, and I had to go to the hospital and get them cut out. I couldn't get them out. They were hung up on a ligament or something. But anyway, you just gotta be careful with them things. All right, so get a couple of these out real quick. All right, so Bill Lewis is the most famous of lipless crankbaits. You can pick them up just about anywhere. You done, man? Anywhere you go. And so Bill Lewis is the most famous. Strike King has a brand, has some out that a lot of people are starting to get. Great colors and such. Like I said, just about every company now makes a lipless crankbait. So, all right, so there's the Strike King. That's a sexy shad. You hear, see, it makes that noise. It's going in the water like this, making that noise. Okay. All right. So you got crawl style colors. These things, they get hung up, man. You can't hardly get them loose sometimes. Treble hooks they can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I tell you. Get this one out of there, it goes. And then it gets hung back on it. Anyway, darn. All right, so that's a crawl color. You know, we're keying on crawfish. There's a crawl color. All right, so these are the Bill Lewis, and I lost the black and chrome ones. So this is a Strike King black and chrome. You can get those in the Bill Lewis. So this is the Bill Lewis too. See, this is like a bait fish. It's trash. You can throw the trash. Okay. See, so they make that noise right there. There's different ones. I think Booyah makes one that's got a one knocker in it. This is the Academy brand. All right. So yeah, it's not as loud. It's a little bit more subtle. And Bill Lewis also too. I haven't seen these anywhere, but you can get these off Tackle Warehouse. That is a floating style because these things sink. Okay, so it's a floating style. It's got a little bit of different noise in that too. So you got smaller ones, you know. All right. So what do you do with these? So basically, you throw this out there. You let it hit the water. You let it sink for a second or two. Then you start reeling in. Just reel it in, medium fast, or medium fast, and stop. Then reel it and stop. Reel it and stop. And then either they're going to hit it on the go or they're going to hit it on that stop. So whatever they want to do. And very effective. And also too, another way I fish it, throw it down at the bottom and let it hit the bottom and pop it up. And it'll go boom and let it sink and hit the bottom. I usually use that in really cold water, just kind of not real hard. I mean, you can do that just to see if they bite it really fast. But in the water's probably less than 50 degrees, just let it boom and let it fall back to the bottom. Boom. They'll usually hit it on the fall or on its way up, or just straight retrieve. Just throw it out there around anything, grass lines, lay downs. Don't throw it in wood, it get hung up. So typically lay downs, around lay downs or around grass lines, okay, or any kind of cover. Just don't. You can't. It ain't a square bill, so you can't throw this in cover. It ain't a spinnerbait. You can't throw it in cover and reel it out. This is gonna get hung up. All right. So just throw it around cover, around grass lines, and just just reel it. Medium fast, medium speed. Stop. Just keep working it. Until you figure out what they're hitting. Or stroke it. Sometimes I throw it out there and let it hit. I'll pull it, reel it, slack. Pull it, reel it, slack. Just play with it until you get bit and figure out what they want. Okay, whatever you're doing, they bite it. Continue to do that because it's probably what they're hitting on. And that's about it on those. There's a ton of different things about these lipless crankbaits, man. They're very versatile baits, and like I said, straight retrieve. Stroking it off the bottom, or just run it and stop, run it and stop. And that's basically what you do with those. And what I typically use lipless crankbait, depending on the size. Now, if it's a big size, they make bigger sizes. I'll throw that on medium heavy with a 7:5 gear ratio. Anything that's the medium, half ounce or quarter ounce size, I'm gonna throw it on a medium power rod. a medium power rod, moderate fast action tip with a 6:5 to 1 gear ratio. You can use a faster gear ratio if you want to, but that's what I throw my lipless crankbaits on. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching. Like I said, any questions, anything I showed you, please leave your comments, and I'll try my best to answer those or go make another video on something that you specifically want to see or see me do. Okay. So I'm trying to get where I can film some videos. Okay. I'm trying to get some equipment to where I can do that. So next couple weeks is some events coming up. I'm not going to be able to film anything. Maybe I can squeeze something in, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if y'all would, please subscribe and like the channel and share with all your friends and family. I greatly support the channel. And if you don't know Jesus, leave your comments in the bottom below, and we'll discuss that. I mean, I really like for everyone to come to know Jesus as personal Savior. You don't want to go to hell, and it's getting closer to the Antichrist stage of things, and the way this world's going, it's not looking good for the sinner. Okay, the sinners are going to hell. You don't want to be here when God's wrath is poured upon the earth. You know, you go to hell, you burn in a lake of fire, for your soul burns for eternity. And if you accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior and put your faith and trust in Him and live by His word and commandments, you live forever. After you die, you will be resurrected into a new body and live forever in a new world. Okay, that's a lot better than burning for eternity. I'd rather live for eternity, okay, in a new body. So please, any questions on that, get with your local pastor or comment or leave your comment, and we'll talk about it. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and William, say bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see y'all at the next one. God bless.